As of yesterday's results in Massachusetts, how do you see this maybe favoring your position?
Well, I'm very excited about the results in the People's Republic of Massachusetts. When a Republican, State Senator Brown, wins, it's very exciting because it's a statement by the people of Massachusetts that's not isolated alone on the East Coast. In Kansas, people are very concerned about the direction this government's going. And to me, that's exciting because in my Senate race, I've been talking about the positive changes we could make to get our economy back on track, to reform health care that would actually lower the cost and not have the government take it over, to reform our regulations, our tax structure, become energy independent, and keep this country safe. Those are the very same issues that people in Massachusetts heard, and it resonated with them. We see a resurgence in the values that I believe built a great country, and that's individual responsibility. That's ability to determine what we want to pursue in life, to decide what is our best avenue to make our dreams come true. And you know, it was set out in our nation's birthright, the Declaration of Independence, where we talk about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Those things, those values are still important. What I want to do is create a culture and an economy where my kids and my grandkids can either start a business or get a good job. And I think most of us want that. And I think the way you do that in America is to provide opportunity. So what I hope to do in the Senate is get our economy back on track. And I have a 5-point plan to do that. It's really pretty simple. It doesn't cost a lot of money. We don't have to borrow money from China to do it. We should reform our tax structure so that people who create jobs get a benefit, and that people have money in their pocket to either save, invest, or spend, because all of that's good for our economy. We need to reform regulations and put them on a cost-benefit analysis so that the benefit exceeds the cost. And if it doesn't, repeal them or reform them. We need to have a healthcare system that actually does reduce costs. And the way you do that is you address the cost centers like defensive medicine and medical malpractice insurance and the ability to shop across state lines and still take care of people, you know, that are in need. We can do that, but we don't have to have the government do it for us. We can make those decisions ourselves. And then we need litigation reform. With over half of Congress today lawyers, it's very difficult to get any litigation reform. And I think we need to remember that Congress consistency today, or what Congress consists of today, is not more than 50% private business owners, or not more than 50% sports figures, or people who produce energy. It's more than 50% are lawyers. And because of that, they have protected the industry. And everybody who thinks we have too many lawyers in Washington, D.C., I want them to go to my website because I'm running against a lawyer and I need their help. But the last thing that we need to do is become energy independent. You know, there was only one state in 2009 that had positive employment. That was North Dakota. And the reason is they discovered oil under private property in North Dakota. And they moved this country closer to energy independence. And in doing so, they created jobs. We could solve our unemployment problem with becoming energy independent, and that alone would do it. So why aren't we moving this way? In North Dakota is a good example. Had the petroleum that was discovered, the crude oil that was discovered, been under public lands, the Democrats in Washington would not have allowed the permits to be written to produce that crude oil. We have a tremendous reserve of crude oil in America. We have over 1 trillion barrels in reserves that we can't get to because of Democrat policies. We're the largest country when it comes to the content of coal. We have more coal than anybody else. And yet we can't build new power plants to use it to generate electricity. And it's one of the least expensive forms of energy to produce. The least expensive is nuclear, and we can't expand our nuclear production of electricity either. So, and we should conserve, and we should use renewable energy, and we should use alternative forms of energy as well. And the market will develop for those. But today, we should be drilling. We should be producing shale oil, and we should be moving into our offshore areas and producing more crude oil, and on the North Slope of Alaska. In doing that, we would solve our unemployment problem and get America back to work. So that 5-point plan with taxes, regulation, healthcare, litigation, and energy independence, that's, I think, a good solid plan that we don't have to borrow money to do. And opportunity, if we pursued the opportunity by holding government back, by expanding the ability to get new ideas into the marketplace, by having capital available, resources available, we can allow Americans to pursue their version of the American dream. And I think that's what's going to get us back on track in this country. And those conservative values are resonating all across America. I think they've been heard in Massachusetts. I think they'll be heard in November, even in California. So I'm very excited about this year and about what's to come.